We see them daily. News headlines of deadly violence occurring in government facilities, schools, universities, places of business, even individual homes. At any given moment, somewhere across the United States, a deadly force crime is taking place. But what if next time it happens to you, your family, a friend? Our goal is to stop the casualties we keep hearing about on the news. And the only way to do that is to empower Americans to look out for other Americans. That's what Deputize America is all about. Our purpose is to create a voice surrounding the safety of all Americans and their rights to protect themselves. And our goal is to create a big enough voice and raise enough money so that by the next presidential election in 2016, we can have the votes in Congress to pass the Deputize America Protection Act.
Well, it means that I'd feel safer, safer to live my daily life. Not having to worry. We might or could use a little bit more protection.
If you look around the world, our country, I mean, we need something like this. So I'm all on board.
Do you think it's something you'd volunteer for?
Yeah, I'd volunteer today.
Well, it's our basic right to protect ourselves. You know, I have a little kid myself, so I think we should all be deputized. I think everybody should have that right to protect themselves and their family and others.
It means a lot to me, especially the way the world is now. We never know what could happen wherever we're at. So if we had something like that, it would really help out. It could make us feel a lot more safer.
As Americans taking action for a safer America, we believe that Americans are responsible individuals. Americans have the right to protect themselves and others. No law, new or old, will stop terrorists, criminals, or violent, crazy people. To create a safer society, the American people need to join together in the face of danger and protect each other. Law enforcement does the best it can. However, it's rarely in a position to stop a deadly force crime when it first occurs. Only the potential victims are in a position to do that. Most Americans would appreciate someone stepping up to save their family from harm. And lastly, Americans should have the right to not become a casualty. In a crisis, the American people have always risen to the task. The tragic events of 9/11 created a new badge of honor for serving and protecting our way of life. Deadly force crimes against innocent men, women, and children outrage all Americans. What would happen if perpetrators knew qualified protectors were waiting for them? It's time to stop the declining rights of the American citizen. Laws either empower or disempower people. The Deputize America Protection Act will help stop the decline of our rights and empower Americans. This act is for every citizen and the future of our country. Make the decision that your right to self-protection must be guaranteed. Here's our plan. Step 1, help us create a voice. Sign up at deputizeamerica.org. It's free. Our goal is 10 million people. That's a big voice. Step 2, become part of the Deputize America community by hiring us to fight for your rights to self-protection. Your membership fees will allow us to run media campaigns and make all candidates accountable for their stance on self-protection.
So do you think it's something you'll sign up for eventually?
Absolutely, I can see myself doing it.
Yeah, I'd sign up. I'd sign up today, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely,
And
without
then,
a doubt.
Of course, especially since I have a little girl. There could be someone out there that can save my daughter one day because of this.
Yeah, I'd definitely support that.
Yeah, I think this is something that I would want to be a part of. I want to join this voice, make it bigger.
By taking these steps, you're helping us get this legislation ratified by Congress. The Deputize America Protection Act is made up of 5 specific points. The Act acknowledges and specifically grants American citizens the inalienable right to self-protection and the right to protect others. It allows qualified citizens to become an American deputy, sworn to protect life in a deadly force situation. And the Act requires the creation of a federal American Deputy Program. It also creates a federal castle doctrine that grants protection to American deputies from both criminal prosecution and civil penalties in the event they need to protect themselves or others from harm. The act shall direct that any surplus fees generated from this program will be used to fund mental health care programs in this country. And this act creates and authorizes a $1,000 per year federal tax credit as an acknowledgement for service for each American deputy. That's right, you'd get $1,000 a year from the federal government. Just think how it would feel to know that millions of qualified Americans have your back. Based on the population statistics, here's the breakdown of the number of citizens needed to sign up as deputies. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the population of the United States is now more than 317 million people. And as of 2008, a census of law enforcement agencies by the Bureau of Justice Statistics says there are approximately 800,000 police and law enforcement officers. Based on 3 8-hour shifts per day, that's one officer for every 1,189 citizens. Our goal is to deputize 10 million people to protect themselves and others in a deadly force situation. That would be one American deputy for every 95 people versus one officer for more than 1,189 people.
I like the idea of being able to protect my family and friends and neighbors. And yeah, we definitely need something like that.
Police departments are great, they do a great job, but they can't be at every crime scene the moment the crime happens. With this plan, I mean, we are deputies, so we're there when the crime happens. We can defend our neighbors, our friends, our family.
I like the idea of gathering support on a community basis to where it's not just a single person acting on their own. There's a collected voice. So I like that aspect of it.
So, what are your rights worth? What is your family's safety worth? Now's the time to change the direction of our country. You can make a difference. Here's how. If 5 million people spend $20 per month, we'll have more than $1 billion per year to get this done. Will $1 billion make a difference? You bet it will. It's a fact that in the last presidential election, $2 billion was spent to elect the president. So, $1 billion to save our rights? It's worth it to me. What about you? In order to fund an in-depth media campaign and create a voice that can turn this country around, give a little and get a big job done. Take a stand with me before our rights slip away.
Yes, I would definitely spend $20 a month to save my daughter's life.
Do you think you'd eventually become a paying member?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, I really believe in what you guys are doing.
It doesn't really have anything to do with any party lines. It's not a Democratic agenda, it's not a Republican agenda, it's a common sense agenda. And hopefully, we don't have to use it or exercise our right as deputies, but in the event that something tragic happens, then we're in a position to do something about it really quickly. And I think that's a great idea.
So do you think 10 million people signed up would be a large enough voice for Congress or even the president would pay attention to it?
I think it'd be outstanding, yes. 10 million people is a big voice.
Remember, we have a simple 2-step process. You can help today. Step 1, sign up to create a voice. Step 2, become a member so that voice can be heard. Now is the time to empower the American people. Now is the time to honor the American people by ensuring their rights, your rights to self-protection. Join us. Become an American deputy today, an American deputy committed to act.